Alright, so what you see on screen now is a general look of what these platforms will have for you when you log into your own profile. So let's give you an overview of what is shown to you and then we can take it from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the elements of what you're looking at now so you have a better understanding of what you can see, what you can do, and how you can use it. But first, make sure you've subscribed to our channel so you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. So let's get started with today's video. Okay, so we're going to be moving basically from top down and left to right. So if you're looking at the top side of it, you've obviously got your ticker or your indicator, however you want to term it, of what the coin is or what the asset is. This one we're looking at is Bitcoin. So Binance US dollar is a stable coin. The equivalent of one Binance US dollar is $1 equivalent. As you can see, the price is fluctuating for Bitcoin. It's just over $24,100. So that's the current live price that it's showing there. Then it shows you a 24-hour change. This is percentage and value. So you've got a 0.25% thereabouts or a $66 change in value. Over the last 24 hours, the high has been $24,300. Its low has been $23,597. You can see the volume that's been traded in 24 hours. That's 63,780 Bitcoin. And the total value of all that Bitcoin traded is over $1.5 billion. Then what you see on the left-hand side here, you'll see the red and the green bit of it. This is known as your order book. What it shows you is the price that people are buying at and the price that people are selling at. So in the middle, you've got the current price being $24,200 and it fluctuates every sort of second as it goes up and down. The bottom side of it, you've got a price on the left hand side here, you've got a quantity in the middle, and you've got a amount or total of Bitcoin on the right hand side. But that total is dollar value. So now what you'll notice is if I'm taking the 24,200 mark here, essentially this is the quantity that the people are buying at that given price. So I've now gone in, I've put a buy order at $24,200 and I'm waiting for the price to go to that before my order is triggered. That's what's showing you at the bottom here. At the top here is the same, but just on the sell side. So you've got the price that people are willing to sell at. You've got the quantity of Bitcoin that they want to sell. And on the right hand side is the dollar value of that Bitcoin. Now you'll notice just above it, we've got the green and the red, we've got the green and just the red. So at this point in time, we're showing the green and the red, which is the sells and the buys. I can switch it up and just choose the green just for the buys, as you see all the buys here, and I can scroll down as far as I want to see where things are. This helps for me to determine where a possible buy wall is. So what I mean by that is a certain level of volume where there might be a massive amount of people willing to buy Bitcoin at that given price. And I saw a few here. So we've got small ones here, 2, 3 million, etc. But as we're scrolling down, there's a big one there. Okay, it's gone off screen, but now you saw it was going too fast. There was a 300 million over there. We've got a 4, a 9, an 11, a 20. You get the point. There's some big numbers. So I can see where the potential bounce amount will be because there's so much volume and purchasing power at that point in time. Then I can switch it to the red, which is the sell side of it. Again, scroll up and down to see who's willing to sell at a given price. And I can see where particular sell walls are. So here's one that just popped off screen. It was 112 million. So I know to get past that 112 million, there has to be a lot of buys that'll then eat up that 112 million and move past that. So that's how you can gauge where possible up and down might be. And it might only be for a very quick move, or it could happen over a couple of hours. Either way, generally those big buy walls will be a very quick thing given the volatility of cryptos. So I'm just going to change back to having both of them there. Okay. Then looking up at the top here, we've got our time frames. Remember, this ties in with the type of trader you are, intraday, position trader, swing trader, etc. Oh, before I forget, what you're seeing in this video is part of a bigger course available on this channel. I will link it in the video and description. As you can see, there are timestamps on the course video, so go ahead and move to the sections that interest you most. Okay, let's get back to it. So it shows the 15 minutes, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 1 day, the 1 week. If you want to add or change any of them, there's a little arrow here that you hover over, and you can then choose a particular time frame that you're looking at. If I'm looking to be a long-term investor, such as a possible position trader over a few weeks or few months, I'd look at the weekly chart or the monthly chart. If I'm an investor side of it, most likely looking at the 1 month chart. You can choose each and one that you want. Then just to the right of it, you've got your technical indicators. If I click on that, it shows me various indicators down the left-hand side that it allows me to have. And then I can edit the particular features of that to change it to my personal preference. The amount of days can change, the time frame, the colors, etc. As you can see, there's a few options here that you can do. Then on the right here, we've got the original view. As I say, depending on the platform that you use, this original view is the one that's built into that particular platform. Next to it, you've got trading view. This is where I say you can switch between the platform's charting and the trading view charting. So if I click on that, it'll then open up the trading view charting itself. So now we've loaded up on the trading view charting. It's a very similar look and feel, but it does give you more options. Then on the right-hand side, we've got depth. That pretty much just shows you where things are in terms of buys and sells. So if I click depth, you'll be able to see the equivalent of what needs to happen for a buy or sell area to be taken up, or engulfed, or swallowed, or whatever you want to term it. Then next to that is an indicator to expand the view, so you can put this whole chart, let me go back to the chart, you can put this whole chart in the screen and you'll lose the bits on the side. This gives you a bigger view of everything, a lot easier to see the ups and downs and the moves. Then next to that is you've got your charting. You're able to compare various charts, 1 chart, 4 charts, etc. and see what's happening in various different coins, various different assets. In the middle here, you've got your chart itself. Okay, it'll give you various different indicators. The top part is where your charting will generally be, and the bottom part here is your volume. So this is how much buying and selling happened at that particular point in time. As you can see, all the red bars is the sells, all the green bars are the purchases. We'll get into a little bit more of the look and feel of the chart as we get into the technical side of things. Then on the left hand side here, you've got all the various analytical tools that you can use in your charting. Okay, before I get to the bottom, let's look at the right hand side here. So on the right hand side, you're able to search for a particular coin or a stock. In this particular case, it's a coin. So if I know what the ticker symbol is, I'll then search for it there. Otherwise, I can just scroll down and choose the particular item itself. If I know what market it is, it's either the Bitcoin market, the altcoin market, the Binance market, the USDT is the dollar market, and so forth. And then just below that, you'll see the current trades that have happened as it stands, the amount of Bitcoin that was purchased, the price that it was purchased at, as well as the time that it was purchased at. And then you can see your trades here, if you've placed any trades, whether you've bought or sold. Now, if we scroll a little bit down here, obviously I need to log in for you to see the bottom portion here, but it doesn't matter. We can still get a good idea of what's happening. On this particular screen, this is where you're going to buy and sell. So on this side here is the current price. So now if I want to buy Bitcoin, let's say I want to buy 1 Bitcoin, I will plug in this current price of 24. It keeps jumping, but let's say 24,200. So I'll make that 24,200. So I know that that's the price of Bitcoin that I'm buying. I will buy 1 Bitcoin, and on the bottom here, it'll actually show the price that I'm going to be spending on that 1 Bitcoin. It'll also show you if there's any fees in play. It'll show you what the fees will be there and the total amount of Bitcoin you'll get, which will probably be slightly less than 1 Bitcoin. Because as you know, with all these platforms, they love taking their commission. It's the reason why the owners of these platforms are now billionaires. Then on the right hand side, we've got our similar look and feel. So if I want to sell a Bitcoin, let's say I want to sell at 25,000. I've bought at 24,200. I want to sell at 25,000, but I want to sell that. It'll show me the price of 25,000 earned there, less a transaction fee on that particular trade. And I would have walked away with roughly an $800 profit. Notice that this is spot. So spot means I am buying something at that given price at that point in time. So if it's a $25,000 Bitcoin, I'm buying 1 Bitcoin at $25,000. Moving on to the right hand side here, you've got a cross 3x and an isolated 10x. That is essentially your leverage trading. This is a little bit risky. In fact, it's a lot risky depending how you do it. When you're starting off, you're almost safer just practicing and getting to know things buying at spot. However, as you get a little bit more comfortable, then you can move into the leverage trading because that is a lot more risky than anything else. And just a quick heads up on anything leverage trading related. If you're gaining, that's fantastic. You're making money if the price is going up and going the way that you expect it. However, if you've put in a leverage trade for the thing to go up and it starts going down, you will lose money a lot faster than what you gained. Keep that in mind. So let's say, for example, we've chosen a cross 3x over here. It's a little bit of a different thing to go into. There's a lot more features when you've logged into the site, but the purpose of this is not to go into that detail. However, you will see the price of the item you're buying at, what you're buying in terms of quantity, and if you're leveraging at 3x, you are using 3 times the capital. So just to keep it simple, if I'm buying Bitcoin $100 worth and I've done a cross 3x, I'm essentially using 3 times my capital. So I'm borrowing money at 3 times. That means I've got $100 sitting there, 3 times is $300. I'm using a trade of a total of $300. You've gone into the trade with 100, but effectively it's 300. So if it goes up according to plan, you make 3 times whatever it would be. So if you've done a 5% return on that, essentially it would be a 15% return because you're using 3 times the value. However, if you've gone down 5%, you've lost 15% of your funds. There's a lot more to it, but that is the basic overview picture of leverage trading. And then lastly, at the bottom here, you've got all your order history, anything that you've placed that's an open order that hasn't been filled. Your order history, if something has been bought or sold, will show there. Your trade history also show same thing, buys and sells. Your funds is how much you've got sitting in your profile, and any positions are your leverage positions. With that being said, this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.